Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a lake, which seems like a really easy build to do, but you guys have been requesting this ever since I made my campsite, so here I am delivering. Not only will I show you how to make the lake itself, the water part of the lake, but I'll show you how to make this little landmass in the center of it. I'll also show you how to make a little bridge which will span your lake, and I'll also show you how to make this little pier, this little fishing dock, whatever you want to use it as. I'll also show you how to make this. And not only should you just make the lake, which is a cool build all by itself, by the way, and we have future plans for this lake, but it would look absolutely amazing next to your campsite. And what would look amazing on your campsite is a caravan being towed by your car. And not only would these things look amazing on your campsite next to your lake, but this awesome looking log cabin would also work very well in conjunction with all of these builds. And not only are we going to just have a lake here, but in the future we'll also have a lake house and possibly some boats, and maybe even some other things that you and I come up with, and we can expand this thing together and it can look pretty nice. I'll be leaving links to every single build associated with this lake, both in the card system and the description below. That includes the campsite, the caravan, the car, and the log cabin. I'll leave links to all of those in the card system and the description below, but without any further ado, so let's talk about building this lake. To make the lake, we're quite obviously going to need some water. Grab some water buckets. I'm probably going to mess up, so I'll need some grass blocks. We need some things to decorate the lake with. I'm going to grab some double tall grass, some regular tall grass. I'm also going to grab a couple of flowers, some lily pads. Where I can't be bothered to place individual flowers and stuff, I'll use some bone meal. And I'm going to be needing quite a few more things later on, but this will probably do for now. So, the position of this lake and the shape of this lake is actually quite important. So, this campsite is not the same as the campsite that you just saw with the actual lake. This one, the log cabin, is on the opposite end, and that is just because I didn't have enough room to build it between the campsite and the fishbowl. Ideally, that log cabin would be all the way up there, but we'll just have to adjust these things. So, we're going to have a lake, which is kind of like, I can't really describe it, it's kind of like the shape of like an old-fashioned mace, like a knight would have. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start by carving a shape in the ground. Now this shape can be added to, it can be taken away, that's why we have the grass. But the whole point is this shape is going to be very, very jagged. It's going to be a bit random in nature. And it wants to be smaller where it is closer to the log cabin, and bigger as we get closer to the opposite end of the campsite. So it wants to get smaller and expand, yet it doesn't want to seem like it's man-made. It wants to seem like it's completely random. And remember, we can make this thing smaller, we can make this thing bigger, we can alter it, we can make it deeper in certain places, we can make it not so deep in certain places, shallower in certain places is the word that I was looking for and failed just because I'm a little bit stupid. And of course, you can configure the lake in different ways and shapes, and you can do different things than I'm doing, but we're just starting off with this very base shape, and you can see that it's not too bad, is it? That's not too bad a shape, but what we're looking for is on the opposite end of the campsite here, we're looking for a pretty much a much larger shape for the lake, so we're going to make it a little bit more bulbous, closer towards the end here. So we want to have a shape which should look, hopefully this is right, a little bit closer to this one, kind of like a little bit light bulby on the end, if that makes any sense. Now you can see that the lake is significantly larger on that side than it is on the opposite side, and that's a good thing. We also want to make the lake ever so slightly bigger, just about in the center-ish of the lake, like this. So we've just made the lake a little bit bigger, right in about the center. Not much bigger, but just a little bit bigger. The reason being, we want it to be big on that end because we are going to have a lake house on that end. We want it to be a little bit big in the middle because that's where the mound's going to be. That's where we're going to have all of that grass. And we want it to be slim on the end because we're going to have a bridge and we're going to have a pier, and the pier is actually going to work out well this end because we have the log cabin. So I'm quite happy with this shape preliminarily. Preliminarily? You guys know the word preliminary. Wow, that's a hard word for me to say. Well, we're happy with the shape at the moment, but we can also change it as time goes by if we decide that we need it to be a little bit more random or a little bit more jagged in places. I can already see a place right here that's a little bit flat, to be honest with you, so we're just going to change the shape of that a little bit. It doesn't have to be drastic, but that's perfect. So, the next order of business, now that we're relatively happy with the shape, like I said, not perfectly happy, but we can change things as we do, we're now going to dig out the area inside of the lake. So we're going to destroy all of these grass blocks, and guess what we're going to be placing in the lake? I'm going to give you one guess because you only get one. If you can't figure out what we're going to be placing inside the lake, I don't think you know what a lake is. It's lava. We're going to be using lava. Just kidding. We're going to be placing water in this. So, I'm going to destroy all of the grass inside of this area. Every single one of these grass blocks, and it's going to take a while. I'm going to destroy all of these grass blocks, and then I'm going to replace this area with water, which is an equally tedious process, by the way, not fun whatsoever. I'm not going to do this on recording, because it's going to take quite some time, and this tutorial may be long enough as it is. So, I'm going to go away, and I'll be back once I've destroyed everything, but guys, all I'm going to be doing is destroying this grass, and I'll be replacing it with water. You don't need me to come along for the ride with you. I'm sure that you guys will be able to figure out how to do this all by yourselves. Back in a moment. And that is what our lake looks like once it's been cleared out and filled in. And that's not too bad. I might have to alter it a little bit later on when we make the mound, but for now, it's looking pretty decent. Well, once you yourself have reached this point right here, and obviously pause the video if necessary if you have to catch up, well, once you have caught up, hit play and you can continue with the rest of us. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are just going to add... It was probably a stupid idea to grab all of this grass and stuff, because we'll just add this later after we're 100% happy with the lake, so we'll get rid of all of that stuff. We're going to add the bridge now, because I've got a perfect place to put it. Grab spruce wood, grab yourself some dark oak wood stairs, also grab yourself some dark oak wood slabs, some oak wood slabs, grab oak wood stairs, also grab some oak wood fence, and I do believe that we will also need some oak wood planks as well, dark oak wood to be specific. I think that we'll probably manage on this. So once you have each one of those materials right there, you're going to want to come to the skinnier end of the lake. The bridge can be built just about anywhere. It can be as long as you like, but I'm going to be making it at just about the shortest point, and I'm going to actually alter this lake to make it a little bit shorter, and then we can elongate it as we will. So I'm just going to shorten the points here and here, and then I'll make it look a little bit natural, because I want my bridge to look how I have it on my original campsite. So once you've figured out where you're going to build this bridge, you're going to want to kick it off by placing 2 spruce woods coming out of the water. So I realize I placed 3, but you want to have it so that 2 spruce woods are visible coming out of the water like this. And parallel to those spruce woods, I don't know why I placed those. And once you've placed those spruce woods, you then want to go right of this first spruce wood that comes out of the water, and you want to have a row of 3 dark oak wood slabs coming across the other side of the lake. So this is the top block, 1, 2, 3, like this. You then want to place a spruce wood next to it, 1 on top of that spruce wood, and you can also destroy the grass block that's underneath it, or if nothing is messing with it, don't bother, and you want to connect it down to the ground. Preferably it's in the river. Now, what you then want to do is you want to take out your dark oak wood slabs again, and you want to place a dark oak wood slab coming out of the right of that bottom spruce wood, this middle one, this one right here. Then you want to place a spruce wood to the right of it. Then you want to dig into the ground and place a dark oak wood plank. And then you want to place, still going right, a dark oak wood stairs in this position. You want to place a dark oak wood stairs on top of each one of those spruces, so this one, and you want to place a dark oak wood stair on this one facing the opposite direction to give you this. And then what we want to do is we want to form the other part of the bridge. So to form the other part of the bridge, we want to take this bottom spruce wood, we want to go left of it by 1 with the dark oak wood plank, then 1 with the spruce wood, then we want to do a dark oak wood plank in the actual ground. And then going left of this, we want to have an opposite facing dark oak wood stairs. So we want to have something which should look like this. And of course, we want to place an opposite facing dark oak wood stair on top of that spruce to give us this sort of shape. Once we've done this, we can actually fix the problem that we've caused, and I figured it'd be easier to edit now than later than just now. So we want to destroy the 2 single planks that we have left and right, or the slabs I should say. And we want to replace those with dark oak wood stairs. It's a subtle change, but it is a nice change. So we'll replace those with dark oak wood stairs in these positions. So kind of following along from the previous dark oak wood slabs in the center, but kind of tapering down into the bridge shape like this. Well, once you've got that taken care of, we now want to take out our oak fence, and we want to place oak fence here, here, all along across here, here and here. So basically in between all of the gaps of the bridge we want to have that. What we now want to do is this. 2 rows away, so this is 2 rows away, and we're going to be coming this way, and we will need to create a little bit more land here. We want to have the exact same thing. So 2 rows away, we want to have spruce wood in this position, starting off with the very first row of spruce wood that we had. We want to have spruce wood in this position, and we want to destroy the block underneath it just because. In this position, and in this position. We're simply copying what we did on that opposite side of the bridge, and we're placing it in the exact same position, just 2 rows away. And you want to do that for absolutely everything. Where you place the planks, you want to place the planks. Where you place the upside down dark oak wood stairs, and do remember that those are upside down dark oak wood stairs in those positions. You want to place those. Where you place the slabs and the planks, you want to place those. We then want to place, of course, oak wood fence in between them, and it's very easy to just replicate what you've just done because, I mean, you just have to look directly forwards, really, and you can pretty much figure it out from there. Perfect. What we now want to do is we want to connect each side of the bridge together. And to do that, we're going to want to use predominantly oak wood slabs. So we're going to want to, and it would be easier with planks, we're going to want to just replace the floor with slabs. And when the bridge actually goes up, we're going to want to use stairs. So obviously when we hit these first 2 spruce woods, we're going to want to use stairs. But then we want to use oak wood slabs to take us all the way over to the opposite side here. And we're going to want to have the oak wood slabs, and we want to go a little bit further, don't we? We want to go just a little bit further, all the way over to here, perfect. And we want to have the oak wood slabs, then the oak wood stairs here to taper down, and then we can just replace the floor with the oak wood slabs. So the surface will look a little bit like that, and just walking up to the bridge, there you go. You just want that nice little step up in that position. And that is the bridge. I don't know whether I explained that very well. I don't know whether I explained that poorly. I have a feeling I explained it poorly, but hopefully it's simple enough that you won't really run into too many problems recreating that. Well, once you've recreated that, it's going to be time for us to make our little pier. So we have a pier pretty much near the bridge. We have a pier here, which rhymes, and that's absolutely fantastic. So what we want to do, we want to start off by making this pier, and we want to have 2 spruce woods visible, and you know what, I'll make it here. 2 spruce woods visible coming out from the water once again, like this. We then want to go left of this first spruce wood, and this is from the top, with our dark oak wood planks, and we want to have 2 dark oak wood planks. I say planks, but I mean slabs. And then we want to have 2 spruce wood coming out of the water. Then we want to have the same thing again. That's 2 dark oak wood slabs coming left of that first spruce wood, and then we want to have 2 spruce wood coming up from the water, like this. We then want to bridge the gap between what we've just made here, and we want to do 2 rows of oak wood slabs. So we want to do 2 rows of oak wood slabs on the inside of what we've just made, and then we want to replicate the spruce wood rows that we've just done on that side onto this side. And remember, those rows also want to be connected with a layer of dark oak wood slabs like this. Wonderful. Plus, we want to have a layer of oak wood stairs right at the end of the pier here, just a row of oak wood stairs that kind of like just tapers down. And you can also have the same thing on the opposite side, so walking up to the pier you can just have oak wood stairs, and if you like you can even have like a dark oak wood plank either side like this, which looks kind of alright. And that is the pier. Very simple. Oh, we are missing some things. Also place some dark oak wood slabs on top of the spruce wood, and then that'll be fine and dandy. Nothing too difficult about that. And there you have your pier. Very, very easy to replicate, and you can move it even further away from the bridge. You can elongate the river. You can do whatever. It's not a river, it's a lake. You can elongate the lake. You can do whatever you like. You can change the positionings. You can change the structure completely up to you. It just so happens that I have a log cabin there, and I can't make it the exact same shape that I'd like. But there you go, a pier and a bridge. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to add just a little mound of grass just in the center of our lake, and it's just a random shape. It's not that big, and you can see I'm just adding a random shape. It's not very circular, it's not very anything. It's not really supposed to be like a proper uniform shape, and it's just meant to be a little bit of a landmass that people may want to swim onto or out to from the lake, and it just makes it look a bit more interesting. It breaks up the lake a little bit. It's a little bit over to the left rather than center, but that's perfectly fine. It's far away from our bridge and from our dock, or whatever you want to call it, pier. More of a pier, really. Well, once you've got all of that taken care of, that is pretty much all of the structures, all of the things that we're going to be adding to the lake. All we're going to be doing now is we're going to be adding the double tall grass, the regular grass, lily pads, a few of our favourite flowers. Plus, we're also going to be grabbing some bone meal, and where possible, you know what, we may even get rid of one of these flowers, maybe the white tulips, because why not, and we may grab some more spruce wood saplings, and we might change things as we go around. So, first of all, I'm just going to place a couple of lily pads, kind of like around this little mound that we have in the center, just because it makes it look a bit more interesting. Then I'm going to place some flowers on it, and it's just going to look a little bit more flowery. I don't want it to look particularly dull and boring. I like the fact that it's got some flowers, it's got a lily pads around it. It makes it look a bit more appealing rather than just a random mound. Next, we're going to be adding some double tall grass around the lake. This is a bit tedious. The layer of double tall grass is to be closer to the lake than the regular tall grass. Do you have to do this? No. Do you want to do this? Maybe. It makes it look kind of cool. So first of all, we're going to be adding this layer of double tall grass, and it's going to be, like I said, closest to the lake. It's being added randomly, dispersed around it. We're then going to be adding a little bit further away, but not too far away, some regular tall grass. And by the way, I wouldn't decorate, if you plan on building a lake house, I would just like leave that end of the lake alone, and I'm going to be, so leave that very far fat end of the lake alone. Don't do too much around it. You can do some stuff, but don't do too much around it, and we'll be using that in a future tutorial. So now that all of the double tall grass is placed, I'm going to be placing some regular tall grass, and this is going to be dispersed just a few rows away in relation to the regular grass, and it's just going to look nice. It's just going to, I figured that these look more like reeds, that's the word. They look a little bit more like reeds, the double tall grass, and it would make sense that those are a little bit closer, I think, to the lake. I mean, I'm not a biologist or anything crazy like that, but, you know, it just makes sense to me that they'd be a little bit closer. So we're just manually adding the grass, and it ends up looking, it's a little bit dull at the moment, but it ends up looking a little something like that, and I don't think that that's too bad. You may even want to add a little bit more. Oh, you can, never mind, there's already some. Now we're going to add bone meal. We're going to add bone meal sparingly around the lake, and we're just going to place it every so often. We don't want it to be that thick, and or do we? I kind of like the effect that bone meal gives. I quite like it. So we're going to add a layer of bone meal, kind of like around the lake. It's going to kind kind of form a circle, I suppose. It can be as condensed as you like, it can be as limited as you like, you can just have patches, or it can just not exist. Completely up to you. But I do like the effect that bone meal gives, and I do think that it makes the lake just look a little bit better. But it's quite obvious just by looking at that's kind of been dispersed, like, in a way that somebody would do it. It doesn't look that random, so you may want to add some more condensed patches, like in certain positions, so just to make it look a little bit less man-made, you might just want to do that. And just breaking it up a little bit actually helps quite a bit. Do I look crazy? I don't know if that's changed that much, but you guys get the point. And that's about as much bone meal as I want. If you want, which will make this thing look a little bit better, you can disperse some more spruce wood trees. So you can have some spruce wood trees just kind of like around the lake. They can be as condensed as you like. They can be like as far apart as you like. I'm not doing a massive amount of them because I don't think that this thing particularly needs a massive amount of them. Where I would mainly focus them, because we don't know what we're going to be doing to this opposite end of the campsite, and I'm just keeping that sapling there because I don't actually want them that close to the dock, and I don't want one there certainly. I would condense them closer to the campsite than anywhere else, because that's where it makes sense to have them close to the campsite and away from the bridge. So we've just added a couple of trees, and that doesn't look too bad, although I probably wouldn't bother because we don't know what we're going to be doing on this side of the lake just yet. And that's just about it, guys. Very simple tutorial. It's taken a little bit longer than I thought it might, but it's a very simple tutorial. We have the lake itself. We have a nice little decorated mound. We have some plants surrounding the lake. We have a cool looking bridge. We have a nice little pier. It looks like it fits perfectly with this campsite. And remember, this isn't just to have a lake, although you can build these anywhere really. This is later on going to house a lake house, and if I can make one, and I hope I can because I think I know how, I'm going to have a boat in this river as well. I keep calling it a river, in this lake as well, and it's going to look pretty awesome. And this campsite definitely looks a lot better with a lane. If you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a like, give it a favorite, give it a share. I realize that this might be a little bit more boring than your regular tutorials, but it had to be done because I didn't just want to make a lake house and not have a lake that I'd shown you guys how to make. So, like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. Comment down below, what else do you think I should make? I obviously want to make the lake house, I want to make the boat. Let me know if there's anything else in your head that you want me to make as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at TSMC360. I'd really appreciate that. I honestly would. Card system, comment down below. Check out the description. Thank you very much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and I'll see you guys in the next video.